Yeah,
Hey, have you on a different note? Have you watched any of the What If episodes this week?
I have not. I got You know how you were saying you had went into a deep dive on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So I had just on YouTube, just I don't know, and it was weird. It just popped up in my feed one time. It's been a couple months, but just little tidbits here of The Sopranos. You ever watch that show?
Well, no, it's on my shirt list of
Yeah, I'd never seen it either. I mean, I heard about it when it was coming out.
my problem is I don't have HBO Max, so I'm going to have to figure out another way to get to it unless I pick up that service. But you've been watching it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I was just watching these clips and watching these clips and like, hey, this show looks pretty interesting. So when you mentioned going on a deep dive of Breaking Bad, I was like, you know what? I need a show. I was like, wow, I got Max free for a little bit because
There
of
you go.
I got it from I subscribed to something else. And I was like, yeah, might as well check it out. So I it's funny, I watched the whole season one in a day, uh,
Wow.
13 episodes. I just stayed up and binged a day. And so right now I'm on season three. And so anyway, so that's been taking my time when I watch this. I know What If's out there, and I know the big scandal on What If is that Darcy supposedly had a kid with Howard the Duck.
That is correct. That was, I think that was episode 6, and I have to say, overall, each season has gotten weaker, in my opinion. The first season, I thought most of the episodes were entertaining. Second season, only a few of the episodes, and in this one, I'd say, I don't know, one or two episodes were kind of really interesting for me. But on a whole, I think it's just, I almost feel like what I miss is I miss the sort of the comic side, sort of, and again, it's you and I have talked about this for years now. Is that basically the MCU has kind of taken over the comic side of things, even,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So in
it's
terms of how they promote
tail
things,
wagging the dog.
characters, and all. So I just feel like this is more the same thing, and so I'd kind of almost like to just get, maybe if they decided to do a true what if, and who cares if you introduce characters that aren't in the MCU? I'd love to see a show with all the other characters that are in the Marvel universe that we haven't seen yet, that just haven't had a proper introduction.
I
That would be cool.
I think
Just like the old days. That's what we grew up with.
unfortunately, Paul, you nailed it 100% on the head. That the MCU is Marvel Comics now.
Yeah.
And I really wish it wouldn't be like that. And I really wish they'd understand that the importance of keeping it separate in the sense that this is where all the ideas came from. And now
Yep.
you're just basically replacing it with the MCU. Unfortunately, because of that, I don't think we're going to see what you're talking about, which I think would be cool also to see characters from from the comics.
Well, one thing that was interesting in the last two episodes, so today was the last day. It was just 8 episodes total for the season, but a new episode each day. But in the last two episodes, Storm was introduced. And there's a little different take on her, unless, I don't know, I haven't read the Marvel comics in a while, but unless that version of that character has been introduced already. But it was Storm, so I just thought, okay, obviously they're trying to work in some of the mutant characters. But you're correct. There was apparently, I think if you watch the second season, I guess when they were in Vegas, I guess Darcy and Howard hooked up one night, and next thing you know, which all, it kind of feels like they jumped the shark in that episode. I mean, you would know what I mean when I say that, but it's like, yeah, I just biologically, I don't even think there's any way that's possible. So it kind of, now what's interesting is in those last couple episodes of the season, there's a character related to that plot line that actually does play a part in what happens. But again, you have to believe that that was even possible in the first place. It just seems kind of silly. I don't know, but um, again, it is what if, I guess. But it just feels like, you could have gone in so many other areas. Why that? But
Yeah, you know what?
anyhow,
Online and the Twitterverse, there's two things that are, I don't want to say scandals, but there's two main talking points about the What If show. One, obviously, is that the whole Darcy Tower the Duck kid thing, and two, and I don't know what you think about this, but the second thing that a lot of people are talking about is the showrunner of What If is saying he came out saying, "Man, I really wanted to have more mutants in the What If," and but he said, this is his quote. He said Fox and Disney hadn't sorted out the merger talks when we were working on it. And counter to that is people were saying that is not true because X Men X Men '97 was in production at the same time this was. They obviously have Storm in there, which is where I first heard they had Storm. So it's like this guy's either trying to BS us or you know
Well,
or
let's just give the guy maybe say, okay, let's just take him at face value. It's possible that he may not be have the whole story. You know, these people, some of these people that work on the shows, whether they're a director and you're in this case a showrunner, maybe is only specifically given information for that particular series or whatever. They may have a limited understanding of the bigger picture in general. So it's possible. I mean, you know that that's what was happening. I I think, though, that with people like Kevin Feige, who had a direct hand in the show, his name's on the credits, that theory doesn't hold up, though. So to your point is maybe this guy didn't have all the information, but guess what? Kevin Feige had control over this. So I think it was clear that they made a decision not to include more
exactly.
mutants.
That's what
So
I think too.
it's
I'm
not
just,
that they,
I'm just
yeah,
going by what's being said.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well, we'll see what happens. I think people are getting a little, I'm sure, impatient or restless. Certainly, people in our generation to see, you know, when are we going to see Wolverine? When are we going to see Storm on the big screen? You know, when are we going to see Jean Grey and Cyclops? All these characters. So, you know, it'll happen. I guess supposedly is the rumor that we're going to be hearing something in the Fantastic Four movie. Is we're going to see some characters there?
supposedly, all I'm reading is that they're just going to introduce some hodgepodge, here and there. Which I don't know. I don't know whether I like that or not. Hopefully, it can work. But yeah, that basically they're just saying I'm not hearing anything about an X Men movie, but they're just going to start to introduce characters like they introduced Storm, and then they may introduce Wolverine, and you know what I'm saying, in different movies.
Right. Well, I guess what choice do we have, right? I mean, we're not making making the calls or calling the shots, I guess. But I think at this point, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. And I say, look, on some of those characters, yeah, you probably could introduce them in a standalone way or in a film, but why not just start off with, boom, here's even if you wanted to do a retelling of the '60s X-Men, maybe that's why Fantastic Four in that sort of perfect world that they're in, a '60s Marvel universe, maybe that would be a good way of introducing at least Professor X and some of those early characters in my mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah. Anyhow, my point is you're not missing much in What If season 3. If you wait, I wouldn't be in any rush to watch it.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
catch up.
but to your point about The Sopranos, hey, it is. I think still, if you look at all the shows ranked, it's got to be in the top 20 TV shows of all time. Maybe even the top 10. I don't know, but. So I haven't seen it, but it is on my list. You're saying good things, so
Yeah,
at
that's pretty good.
some point I will go see it or will watch it somehow. Um, and of course, the other, I think I told you guys that the starting after the first of the year, so maybe not this coming week, but next week, I'll probably sit down and start watching the Netflix Marvel shows. So
All right. Well, let me know what order you're watching. And I'll watch them too.
yeah, I'm going to watch them exactly
So
in the order.
Daredevil 1 and 2, and then from there.
Yeah, I think it's Daredevil 1 and 2, and then it goes into like Iron Fist first season, then it goes into a different like Jessica Jones. So I'm gonna watch it in the order that's intended, just like I did with Breaking Bad and all that. So
Sounds good.
anyhow, I'll keep you updated. So is it, look, I didn't see if you were able to get everything downloaded yet or uploaded.
Oh yeah. Let me. I'm gonna have to end the recording. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll text you.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, probably take it.